What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Text us 865-658-5824. Don't send any awkward photos on that line, whatever you do. Okay. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay. He's like, I wish I wasn't. Emilio in Tennessee. Probably feels the same way. And Jacob ain't got nothing better to do than to hang out in here. How we doing?
He was the best guy around.
right off the cuff here. We got the chat filing in. Good to see everybody. Appreciate y'all making us a part of your evening. If you would hit that like button on the way in, and let's just jump right into it. Gents, you got anything you want to hit on before we jump in the Patreon group? We got a little bit of Packers news to break, and then of course we'll dive into some draft talk, I'm sure. Anything you guys like to talk about right here off the cuff?
Money Mace retired officially today, so big shout out to Mason Crosby for the official announcement. I think didn't catch anybody off guard at this point, but got to salute him for 16 years of great service to the Packers. So salute to Mason Crosby.
Yeah, there you go. Matter of fact, we've got that clip here. King Tron with the super chat. Thank you. He says, "What murder?" I'm glad somebody else has heard it. Here's a clip from 105.7 The Fan, and this was Mason Crosby on there today on the Mason Crosby Show, just talking about the retirement and everything. About 2 minutes long, so since Tim brung it up, let's hit that first right out of the gate. And I don't want to show any disrespect and put that screen grab up there while he's talking. Let's do it is somewhat depressing, right? It's kind of depressing that Mason, that era is officially over, right? So let's give a depressing clip. Here we go. All right. All right, here we go. Mason Crosby on 105.7 The Fan earlier today. If you guys can't hear it, you let me know as soon as possible.
You know, most people make an announcement, they do something, and then they start a journey into other things. I think I've been putting this off for 2 years. I've been putting it out of my mind. I think this stubbornness is what served me so well in my playing career. So today, I make my official announcement to retire from the NFL. The NFL said I was retired right at the end of this season because if you don't play for a year, you technically, just right off into the sunset. But you know what? I'm not riding off into the sunset.
That's right.
I always was so worried and fearful of retirement, of being done with something, being done with an end of a career. But you know what? I found things I'm chasing. I found things I'm passionate. Molly said it so well to me yesterday because I was looking for words to say. And she said, Mason, it's about gratitude, attitude, and what the future holds. That just really resonated. So I do want to start with that, with gratitude. Just so thankful. So grateful for the opportunity to come to Green Bay, 2007, drafted in the 6th round out of the University of Colorado, to become a Packer and to be part of that fraternity and that legacy that in the history of the Green Bay Packers. It's about the fans. It's about the people. It's about my teammates. For me, I was always a we guy. We're doing this. We're, dominating and winning the NFC North 9 times while I was a Green Bay Packer for 16 years, making the playoffs, winning a Super Bowl as a team. So for me, everything I remember and everything I think about is about the team. I couldn't have had any of the accomplishments, any of the accolades, any of the moments I had without Brett Good, without Tim Mastay, without Rob Davis to start me. John Ryan was my first punter and holder. I started with Brett Favre, and I played with Aaron Rodgers the rest of my career. So, and I know we tease and we joke about Aaron, but he's definitely a guy I have to give a ton of thanks to. I mean, he had my back in the good and the bad and the ugly. He always went to bat for me. He scored a lot of touchdowns, allowing me to kick a lot of extra points and get all those records. So I can't say enough about my good friend, teammate Aaron Rodgers, and what he meant to me and my family.
Wait a minute,
the best guy around.
Wait, did Mason, hold up, man. Did Mason just say that Aaron Rodgers was a good teammate? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
But I was told that Aaron was, okay, cool. So Aaron wasn't a horrible person. Got it.
Let me clear it up for you one more time.
He was
Yes,
the
sir.
best guy around.
Got it. So, listen, Mason Crosby, I remember when they drafted him, and immediately everybody's like, all right, who is this guy? Great bad weather kicker. was
Yeah.
the scouting report, right? And man, did he deliver so many years. And you know, he had a year, maybe a year and a half where he had that slump and they adjusted his contract, right? Basically, all right, if you perform, you're still going to get paid about the same amount. Boy, he readjusted, right back on track again.
He responded. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely awesome player though. Emilio, did you get a chance to watch Mason in person at any point when you went to Lambeau, or was he already gone?
I would have. No, he wasn't there for. I don't think he was there for the Lambeau game. I would have probably seen him. I went to the Giants Packers game in MetLife. The snow game, Devontae caught a touchdown like near side. I would have seen him then. I just don't quite remember it. I remember him warming up.
Yeah, had a hell of a. I want to say he kicked a 60-yarder in Colorado or something like that. I do remember that.
Yeah, he's got a leg.
He did, yeah.
And that was a big deal back then to kick 60-yarders. You know, back in the early 2000s for sure.
Drew D's got a funny memory of Mason, apparently. He says, I used to work at Schlotsky's Deli, and Mason Crosby and Jeremy Kapinos would come in. The high school girls would drool over Mason and tell him good luck and ignore Jeremy completely. LOL, they always laughed. That's actually funny.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Schlotsky's Deli, there used to be one over here next to Milligan College in town. Boy, it was solid. The day it disappeared out of that gas station was a depressing day for me. I remember going over thinking I'm getting a sandwich and the doors were closed, and I just leaned up against the glass. It's like they had some kind of sandwich, like a prime rib sandwich or something. It was just unbelievable. But anyway, moment of silence for Schlotsky's Deli.
And for Mason Crosby and his career.
Oh yeah, that too.
You know, I'm an '80s baby. I'm blessed to you know, when I think of kickers in Green Bay, I think of Chris Jackie. That's who I grew up. You know, diehard Chris Jackie fan. What made me want to be a kicker was watching Chris Jackie, and then we had a pretty good run with Ryan Longwell, and then of course Mason Crosby. Man, the man, the myth, the legend for sure. So nothing but respect for, you know, the great kickers that have passed through, but certainly Mason will be surefire Packers Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Should be, I don't know, 3 or 4 years before we see that. But I look forward to being there when Mason's inducted into the Hall for sure.
Real quick, Tim, does he get his name in the ring? He's got to, right? All-time leading scorer, all-time leading
I would think so. I don't think a number retiring, but I definitely think a name added to the Ring of Honor for sure.
Definitely Packer Hall of Famer, obviously. Yep. It's just a matter of time. So that would be a fun one to go see the induction ceremony. Aaron has talked about him a lot. You know, they sat next to each other on the plane rides and everything. He was just one of those dudes that everybody loved. One of my favorite Mason Crosby moments was actually not on the field. If you guys ever seen the Kenny Mayne special when Aaron was real young, it was TJ Lang's rookie year. And they had him doing some kind of rookie show thing, and Aaron hit him with a head of lettuce. Have y'all seen that video? Bro, he hits him so hard. We'll watch it after the show. I'm sure we'll get a copyright. But Mason's in the crowd watching it, and as soon as the lettuce hits TJ Lang, it just explodes. Mason busts out laughing. He cannot. It's an awesome moment. So we'll definitely pull that up. King Tron with the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Says, howdy, boys. How's everyone? Like and share, y'all. Yeah, if you would, feel free to share the stream here. Hit like for us. We greatly appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat there, King Tron. We're doing great here, man. Just trying to keep these knuckleheads in check. You know how that goes. So every night it's a full-time job. Chuck Jaggers in the house says that Mason kick is my favorite Green Bay moment in Dallas. I completely lost it when he drilled that clutch kick from 50. Yeah, everybody remembers the throw, right? They remember the throw and catch, but it's easy to forget that Mason had to go out there and hit that game-winning kick, man.
Twice.
Yeah.
And he
did it twice, and he hit it. And the first one looked better than the second one. I'll never forget that. I remember kind of holding my breath for a minute on that second kick. It looked a little tight to the left, but he snuck it through, man. I'll never forget that. Just absolute clutch.
And he did it while Celine Dion was playing My Heart Will Go On, if you remember.
That's the best, man. That's the best.
It's so good.
Joseph says, rip quality gas station deli. Amen to that. Right up there with the gas station sushi, no doubt. Blake B says, Clayton was like Ron Swanson when Mulligan's Steakhouse was closed.
That's exactly what I thought of, dude. He just
here's the guy.
You got it. Let's go to the Patreon group, see what's going on in there. Chris N, appreciate you being a part of the Patreon posse here. He says, Clayton, looking at the cornerback group that the Packers met with at the Senior Bowl has me concerned that they are focused on late round options? Do you have the same feeling? Are you concerned by that? The meeting with the players is important, but it can also be a little bit misleading too, right? Just because they're meeting with people, like we've talked about this, Emilio, just because they're meeting with people doesn't mean it's a slam dunk. They're going after them. And some of the upper level prospects that hey, if they're available, we're taking them. You don't want to send that signal that you're interested in them too. So there's a little bit of that going on as well. But if we were to sort by cornerback here, and matter of fact, let me see what was his other comment. So he had a specific one we'll get to here in a second. So let me drop this down. Let's go to our board real quick, and we'll see exactly how we feel about.
I mean, that's true because I was looking at the D-line guy, CJ West, who was another guy Packers met with. But, I mean, it's just he's 112 on our board kind of later on. You only get a couple up front. So, but I'm totally with building up the trenches up front early and then diving into the back, the DBs later on.
Yeah, and the way it looks right here, Chris, to answer your question, the top corner that we met with so far is Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. He's going to be a first-round pick most likely. He's going to be hovering around first round, possibly early second. So they're showing some interest in a corner there, The same thing can be said for defensive line, right? Like they've only met with 2 defensive linemen that are, considered first-round picks, right? Then the next one would be a tight end, which is outside. So to the best of my knowledge, I've only met with 3 prospects so far and shown interest in 3 prospects that are projected to go in the first round, at least according to our board. Okay. So, what I'm saying, Chris, is don't worry. Not a big deal, right? They could still go corner early. They could. I'm with Emilio, and I think the guys agree too. Like, let's focus on trenches. But as you get closer to the draft too, you got to take into consideration what DJ said. This is a trench draft, right? It's loaded with talent in the trenches, both sides of the ball. So Goody may be looking at it like, hey, we can get equal talent a little later, as opposed to, hey, let's take our pick of the litter right here. And then, one thing I'm noticing is cornerback gets thin. After the second round, I found myself going, boy, that's a reach. So the next cornerback would be, let's see, we had Harold Fannin Jr., who was the next corner. There's Jaden Higgins, wide receiver that they met with. Wide receiver Jalen Royals, defensive line Peebles, defensive line CJ West. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Chris. You're right, man. The next corner is a versatile corner in Jacob Parrish out of Kansas State, and he's in the 145 spot for us. So, yeah, I see what you're saying, man. I wouldn't be too concerned with it, though. I think if their board lines up, whether they met with them or not. And the top 30 visits are where you got to really pay attention to. You know what I'm saying, fellas? Like, that's where the rubber kind of meets the road. You're spending ample time with them with the interviewing process and getting your those measurables, that 40-yard dash and everything in a private setting.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at our positions in need, like you talked about, trenches, O-line, D-line, we talk about edge, possibly tight end, definitely wide receiver at some point. I mean, you make that list, you're going to have to draw a line in the middle, and you're going to separate your board based on your needs, right? So the point of what I'm saying is something's going to get pushed to the later rounds, whether that's receiver or it's tight end or maybe it is corner, who knows? I think it all depends on, who they really have their sights set on, and how aggressive they want to be early in this draft is going to really tell us.
What do you guys think about Greg Rice's question, which I know is a little bit premature just because we don't have very much information to go off of, obviously. But Greg Rice ponders, do we know if Hafley has any special requirements for a cornerback? I guess just more of like a prototype, I don't think we have any. I should say I don't think we have enough information to really say that one way or another, as far as maybe size, speed, play style. I don't know. Do you guys, does anything pop out at you? Blake B says not Stokes, apparently. Shots fired.
I would think downhill, guys that can be aggressive, guys that can, not get beat over the top, but aren't afraid to come down and be aggressive, maybe play, both boundary and slot, as we still kind of don't really have a for sure bona fide slot corner. I mean, we've got Javon Bullard, who's doing pretty good there, but beyond that, I don't know what else we have other than moving Keyshawn back inside. So I would think a little bit of versatility and some some aggressiveness.
I was just going to say versatility and aggressiveness. That's literally, I think, the only two things we can see. And that just might be luck of the draw. You know, Evan Williams came in and showed out. Obviously, X is being a free agent coming in. And then you look at, like you talked about with Bullard, versatility and aggressiveness. That's what I see there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, would you want a press corner? Do we want somebody that's sticky and man? Do we want a zone guy? I think, you know, like you said, we want him to be versatile. I would honestly not be opposed to grabbing somebody that's not afraid to get their hands on him. You know, let's start disrupting them at the line, throwing the timing off, maybe give the D line another second to get their job done. But yeah, I'm all for it. But I think it's got to be later on in the round. I think we kind of dive into, you know, the trenches and figure it out early and get that taken care of.
Yeah, I agree. Emilio, you're a little bit choppy over that. Was that choppy for everybody else too?
Sure was. Gosh, Emilio, I wish you could upgrade your internet.
Still in that internet. Hey, help me out here, fellas. Thoughts? Christian says thoughts on acquiring Azeez Ojulari, 24-year-old former number 50 pick from Georgia. Spotrac market value is 2 years, $15 million. I can't find him anywhere in the PFF database. And I'm wondering maybe he didn't play last year, so he didn't have a grade.
He was the best guy around.
That's all you need to know. Let's see if I can find him here. If we search, I bet he didn't play last year is what it was. Let's see here. Let me get the card pulled up. All right, so in premium stats defensively, Azeez Ojulari has been in the league for 4 years now. His PFF grades were 58, 62, 51, and 56. 6'3", 240. He's huge. That's an edge defender. Okay, so he wasn't talking about a corner. He was talking about an edge. I misunderstood that. We were talking corner before. So that explains why he didn't pop up on the rankings for sure. What do you guys think about Azeez Ojulari? I mean, the scores look horrible. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? Sounds really bad.
I brought him up on Draft Buzz, and it shows, he was drafted 2021's round 2, pick number 50, the Giants. They had him as a 4-star prospect. ESPN had him a 4-star prospect. So did Rivals. So did 24/7 Sports. They got his tackling grade at 78%, a pass rush at 93%. Run defense at 81%. He's got 6'3", 240, runs a 4.6 40. I mean, that's pretty much all they had on him. But they had him ranked at 32nd overall at Draft Buzz.
Yeah, and he's been with the Giants his entire career, you know, which is only 4 years, but he graded out the 92nd best edge defender last year. So for me, I would say no, but you never know, man. When it comes to stuff like that, Chris, it depends on the grade that Goody had. That's how you get some of these free agents where we go, kind of scratching your head because they had them high on their board, right? And, you know, they go kind of combing back through the tape. Maybe they see he was misused or we can do better with him, right? As Fred McFarley said there, Brenton Cox Jr. over Ojulari. Yeah, for me, I don't see anything special there, Chris, but you never know, man. Goody may be interested, right? Definitely could be the case. So appreciate everybody in the Patreon group. If you want to join the Patreon group, we had several other people join. Appreciate y'all. Scan the QR code in the upper right. That'll send you to patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access, or just go to patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access. And you can join, get access to our multiple chats. You can get yourself entered into the draft contest this year as well, where we're going to have everybody take their swing at one mock draft, and then that'll be your entry mock draft. And whoever gets the closest to what the Packers do, we're going to be giving away an autographed piece of memorabilia for you guys. So just make sure you're a member in the group there. And
it's in the link too, Clay, right? Underneath this video.
It actually is. Yeah. If you click more on the YouTube video, the link's in there as well. Yeah, for sure. At least it was. I believe it still is.
Yeah, we say that, and now everyone's looking for it.
We run a tight ship here.
It was the best link around.
The Hip real quick says that Revel, which I believe he was from the smaller school. I can't remember what it was. East Carolina, says he looks aggressive and can tackle. I agree with that. Blake B brings up the issue that he says he guesses he's coming off of an ACL, though. So that might be why. But that could be somebody that could fall a little bit in the draft that we could maybe swoop in. Get a little bit of a late round steal, you know what I mean? Be a boss at Ross kind of thing. You guys know I like that.
193. He's a bigger corner. He's a boundary guy.
What Emilio was talking about. Down at the line.
Rated out in the 80s, I believe. What did PFF had on him? 82 or something? 83? Something like that. I I don't know where
where
we have Siobhan Revel on our
67.
board.
He's actually he is our 11th best player.
Overall?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Let's look
Yeah, he
here.
had a 67, 23 PFF grade, a 31 overall in 24, 30th on PFS Big Board, and 24th on consensus.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty solid.
And then the 33rd team has him 7th on their board. So the
Here's
dude
a
is
guy.
like, yeah.
And he is, you'll notice here, one of the new additions to the board, we are specifying when someone is an outside corner, a slot corner, a versatile corner, that type of, like you'll see here with Siobhan Revel Jr., he's mainly an outside corner. He's got the O next to his name, right? With Jahdae Brown, you'll see the V there. That means he's versatile. He can play outside and inside. So just a little extra information to the board. You'll see some safeties as well that'll say safety, and then they'll show slot. Like for instance, Xavier Watts right here, right out of Notre Dame. He played, I think he played over 100 snaps in the slot, or at least a combination of slot and box snaps. So, and in terms of, are they a deep safety? Are they a strong safety? What I'm noticing, even in college football, that's now trickled down into college. They're very versatile, like not versatile. They're very interchangeable from a sense of whether they're going to play post safety or spur. So they, defenses even at the college level are liking to mix and match at the moment. So there you go with that. Any other prospects you guys want to hit on here? Anybody at all come to mind? Or Emilio, you've been coming through the information too, man. Has anybody kind of popped to you here lately?
No, but can you just look up the name on the screen here for Jacob? Search Eli, E-L-I, and then the first letter is C for his last name. And this is going to be Jacob's boy down
I think
here.
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this is Jacob's second favorite prospect out of the draft this year.
Why don't we got no information on him, man?
We got him at least on the board. That's what I'm saying. I'm diving into him now, trying to find him for you, Jacob. I knew you'd be upset if if we left him out of it.
Emilio's hopping into Cox right now, so we'll get that.
If we could load the trenches up with just lots of Cox, I think we'd be great.
What is wrong with you guys? See, that's why we can't have nice things.
That's terrible.
Prince says,
yeah, more Cox, Jacob.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Chuck pause, LOL. All right, let's see here. Joseph says, I think Barron is the, quote, football player type that have Half and Rich really low. Oh, talking about Jeff Hafley and Rich Bisaccia really low. So he's talking about Jahdae Barron, right, Emilio?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that other corner you were talking about right after.
You guys have him like 18th, I thought. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's 17th on our board. Jahdae Brown, he's a versatile corner, so he can play all over the place, like he's saying. PFF 22, 130th. He dropped to 299, then he jumped all the way to third last year. His PFF Big Board had him at 26. The consensus Big Board had him at 30. I would be totally fine with that pick there. If he were to fall to 23, no problem taking him there at all. Again, I'm not completely hung up on trenches. I hope they go that route. I hope the board falls that way. But if one of these guys fall out of the top tier right in our lap, and it's a corner, it's a wide receiver, hell, it's a quarterback. If Shedeur Sanders, people are going to roll their eyes, and I completely understand. If Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward somehow, some way fell to the Packers at 23, I would be screaming, draft him. Because I'm telling you, the value is just too good there. Exactly right.
Yeah, I was listening to that Cowboys podcast. He's got the Brian Brodish on there. He was saying when they went through their mock and like Ashton Genty was there, like if you're getting a top three, I mean, what's he on our board? Like,
who is it?
Two Ashton Genty. What's he like, number 2?
Oh yeah, he's way up there. Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, what happens if he actually falls to 12 when he's there? Like, you got to take him, right? If you're taking the third best player with the 12th pick, that amount of value that has fallen to you, you got to pull the trigger there, right? You can't just say, I'm going to take the inside, the guard or whatever and go with it from there. I think that's the truth.
And again, you look at the teams that were successful this year, right? Who are the two teams playing in the Super Bowl? Kansas City Chiefs. They got Pacheco, right? Solid running back. Who's the team they're playing against? The Philadelphia Eagles. Best running back in football, Saquon Barkley, right?
Yep.
The week before, I can't think of the name. Is it Cook? the running back for the Bills, if I remember correctly?
James Cook.
Yes.
Yeah, I think James Cook pretty solid, right? And then who was the other team that played there? Washington. I don't know who their running back is.
Ryan Robinson Jr. He's all right, but
yeah, nothing like superstar-ish, right?
Austin Eckler.
Yeah,
there you go, man. Austin Eckler's got to be 112 years old now. I don't know how he's still playing the game. Is it just me, or does it feel like he's been in the league forever?
No, it started to look like it down the stretch too in that playoff run there. He was, I don't want to say struggling, but definitely kind of the shell of his former self out there.
Yeah. Here we go. Coach Lynn said, "Did y'all add the edge player from UCLA, Oladejo?" I think we did. I want to say
yes.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Sounds a lot like Ola Home Depot.
Oladejo. Let's go.
Sound a lot like Ola Home Depot, don't it? Mm-hmm. So, edge defender UCLA was at the Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. He is sitting in the 263 spot for us. PFF 22, 646, 23 jumped to 187. Last year he falls back to 234. PFF big board 133. I had to let the drop there here, you know what I'm saying? And then the consensus big board 216. So again, that puts him in the 263 spot for us. Now PFF big board seems to be the highest on him at the time at 133. And like I said, the consensus big board having it at 216. So he is on the board now. Exactly. So there is your boy Oladejo, one of the coolest names in the draft, no doubt. Ron Samuels,
Coach Len, we're together on that one. That's our pick right there for edge, for sure.
There you go. Got it. Ron Samuels says, "Emilio, what do the different colors on the board represent? Explain to him, Emilio. What are these colors?"
So green is going to be our tier 1 talents, right, Clay? I'll just make sure I'm not messing this up. Green is going to be our tier 1
in need.
Yeah, no, not position to need. Tier 1 talent group. Yeah, so like edge position, like a 3-tech type. And then our blues are going to be tier 2 level of importance, which would be linebackers, safeties, and centers. So that's, someone that's going to touch the ball every time or kind of center the defense there.
And the reason we do that, and we got the names lit up in green and blue, is when we do our horizontal board, what we'll do is just drag this card over to the horizontal board, right? So you'll know as you're looking at the clusters of the players, you've got them in the same position group, but we want the greens to really stick out. Like, okay, these are premium positions. These are edge defenders and 3-techs, okay? Mm-hmm. And then on offense, they are tackles and quarterbacks. So it'll just rather than you steering away from a position of need, your eye's always going to be drawn back to that aspect of the horizontal board going, damn, that's right, that's an important position. Even though we might not technically need it that bad, it's such an important position. You go and get it. Philadelphia Eagles, right? Every year they do that.
Right, and that's why you're just trying to shove as much information, because once we make that board, we're literally just taking that B column is the only thing that's coming with them. That's why we're trying to throw a cheese emblem in there, whatever. If they were in a bowl, if they were a captain, if we can find anything like that, we're just trying to smush that all in there so that when we do run that board, we'll have every bit of information we can.
Yep. And one of the things I do, the final step in the whole process, we'll still have access to this entire vertical board. You guys seen it on the draft show last year, but we'll also have the horizontal board, and we're going to have the horizontal board, like I said, on a projection screen at the B&B when we do our live draft party in Green Bay. And we will be able to flash back and forth to it, but being able to pull the names off in real time off of the board kind of talks to you. It shows you where the depth is. It shows you where a certain position is falling to, and where, hey, you know what? We could probably get the same or equal talent at that position next round because it's really jammed up right now. That type of stuff is really what comes into play. But the only other thing, the final step in the board, Emilio, what I do every year, just so you know, is when the board is complete and we go to build our horizontal board, before we switch this up to a horizontal, we put the final grade next to their school on that card. So you'll have their final grade too. So you can actually see, even though they're higher than that player on the horizontal board, you can see how much better they are. So that's what we'll do. So,
and then can you guys answer this? I believe, was it the red that highlights that there was either an injury or some sort of major setback in that year? Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And as that comes, that's what I'm saying. If anybody has information like that, if anybody has done any other bit of research, like the captain thing, any of that, send it over. Just trying to fill this thing with info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Lynn asking the tough question here. He says, "What if Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss, gets to 23?
Pass.
We draft him.
Yeah.
Let's look at.
Sit your butt outside.
Well,
He's got
obviously,
the lettuce. I mean, he's got the lettuce for a helmet, right? But
he
that's,
looks like a quarterback. He looks like straight out of Central Casting.
looks like everybody I played lacrosse against.
Everybody you want to smack in the mouth, right? Every one of them. All the pretty boys. So if you start at 23 here, right? Like you got Shamar Stewart in the 23 spot, then Malachi Starks, Egbuka, wide receiver from Ohio State, Nick Scarleton, edge from Texas A&M, Donovan Ezaraku, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Ezaraku. I think we got it. Ezaraku. Derek Harmon, defensive lineman out of Oregon, Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. You see all these players, right? If all of those guys are gone, then there's somebody above them up here, a cluster of guys that fell right in our lap too. So let's assume that everybody 23 and down is available. I can already think of a bunch of players that we would take there, right? Well, you notice we still haven't come to Jackson Dart yet, right? So as we come on down here looking for Jackson Dart on our board, he is 75 spot. Now, typically the rule of thumb that I've noticed, Coach, and other people have talked about is quarterbacks will be taken one tier higher than their actual tier of talent, okay? Because it's such an important position. Teams will reach down one tier to grab that guy, right? That's why we say every spring there's two drafts. There's a quarterback draft and the NFL draft, right? And people will have a quarterback board too because they know teams are quarterback needy, wherever they might be climbing up. Okay, these teams are coming up available. These are the quarterbacks that will link to that team. Let's give them a call, see if they want to trade. Call them 5-6 picks before and let them know, hey, what are you thinking here? Do you want to go get your guy? That type of stuff. But with Jackson Dart, his grade is a 67.7 as it sits right now. So one tier, if we did it in an increment of 10, which is kind of generous, that means we would be willing to take him at the 63 spot, according to our board. That's way, way further down than 23, right? Now, again, other people like Jackson Dart a lot. Like Daniel Jeremiah's got him in the 41 spot. I'm not on board with it. And Daniel Jeremiah's 41 spot factors into our grade as well. The biggest issue I have with Jackson Dart is the PFF big board had him at 193. The consensus big board had him at 82. His PFF grades, guys, he went 80th, 10th, and then 3rd. Like he did everything PFF-wise. He could be a stud. He might be the stud of this quarterback draft. But I think 23 would be a little too high for me to think about taking one there. What do you guys think about that? We'll go around the horn with it. We'll start with you, Jacob. Would you take Jackson Dart at 23, or what pick would you be willing to spend on Jackson Dart?
No, not with when we got in my opinion, we have a very strong backup quarterback situation right now. The fact that, like you said, even if you leap up a solid round, I still think we're reaching for him at 23. And to me, there's so many more glaring important needs before I'd take a stretch on Jackson Dart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm with Jacob on that. I mean, I'm looking at my short list. I like Hennigan. I like Jalen Milroe. I mean, there's a handful of quarterbacks I kind of like higher up than Jackson Dart. And then, like Jacob's saying, do we really take a quarterback in the first round? I highly doubt it. I wouldn't put it past Goody to take one, but I'm thinking 4, 5, or 6 or 7. If there's somebody hanging around and we feel like, we got a good grade on them and we can grab them. Like Jacob's saying, we've got Malik Willis, at least for the time being. Might as well enjoy that while we can. And I don't think we reach for a quarterback, but I do think there's a chance we do draft one. It is possible, but I don't think that early. I don't think we're going to do it.
Is it crazy too to think that he might wait and get a guy like, I don't know, Will Howard, or I really like Curtis Rourke. You know what I mean? If you're going to let, take a shot like we've been doing kind of randomly, I love those late rounder draft picks. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Right. And Coach Lynn says, so only 2 quarterbacks in the first round, someone will reach for him. I completely agree, Coach.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if this is one of those drafts that the closer we get to the draft, all of a sudden 3, 4, maybe 5 quarterbacks sneak into the conversation being first round picks. It happens every single year, right? Because if you get that right, you're set. on a rookie contract for 3, maybe 4 years, and then you got the 5th-year option, you could set your franchise up to be very, very successful. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're 3. The current rankings for our quarterbacks are Cam Ward 1, Shedeur Sanders 2, Jalen Milroe 3, Dylan Gabriel 4, Jackson Dart 5, Tyler Huff 6 out of Jacksonville State, Quinn Ewers 7, Will Howard 8, Curtis Rorick 9th, Riley Leonard 10th, Kyle McCord 11th. Who'd you say you liked, Jacob?
I like Curtis Rorick. I feel like he graded out pretty decently on PFF, and I don't know.
What would you say, Curtis Rorick? Is that what you said? Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, heck, in 22, man, the 3rd highest graded quarterback in all of college football. That's wild. And then he fell to 82nd in 23, but then jumped back up to 18th. You're right, man. There's probably some talent there, dude. And Indiana had a great year. They really did.
Right.
So quarterback, you notice we don't have quarterback listed as a need. But you notice just about every other episode, the conversation steers back to quarterback. You notice that? Because it drives Amelia, you hear these podcasts, the quarterback position drives the draft every year.
I was just going to say, they were talking about Jalen Milroe today, saying that, his throwing isn't quite there, but he can turn the corner and take it 80 yards. They're saying that, it could be the Giants, and maybe they take whoever they take with their first pick. And Milroe's still there. Maybe they want to jump back up into the first round, get him on that 5-year. And, he could be that 3rd or 4th. Like we thought it was going to be 4 last year, ended up being 6. So at some point, that jump is going to happen. That's all they do is talk about him, right? If you need him as a team, you need it. Let me just throw this question to you, to the squad here. What if it's like Malik Willis we're trading to the Browns to get him squared away with their quarterback situation, and then you dabble a pick in there or something to get your boy Miles?
If you're you're asking me, would I trade Malik Willis and a pick or 2 for Myles Garrett? If Myles Garrett's cool with playing with the contract he's got, sign me up. If it's one of those deals that, hey, a contract's got to be worked out before he gets here,
right?
A little hesitant,
just because they need a quarterback.
Well, that's the thing too. They're still what they say they were committed to. Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah,
they're committed to him. I mean, that let me pull up his contract. Let's talk about it.
But I feel like they had that other one, Dorian Thompson, that I would be more excited about personally. To me, he reminds me of Jordan Love. Not quite there, a little raw, but has all the crazy attributes to be a starter in this league. He's actually performed quite poorly once he had his shots, which isn't helping him. But he flashed in the preseason. I know that's preseason, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, the GM Shuffle was talking, but Mark, he was talking, saying like, when does this slope end though for the Browns? If you got, your best player coming out saying, dude, I don't want to be here, you better trade me, and you say yes to him, when can you say no to everybody else? When can you put the point?
Yeah.
So he's like, it's just a super slippery slope as a GM allowing it and then kind of going through with it. So that would be the only, that kind of pushback on it.
What do you think, though? Sorry to interrupt you. Just Chris N brings up a good point. He goes, Cleveland needs a cheap quarterback, a cheap that could be progressible or that has actually played. We've seen Malik Willis. I mean, the thing about him is everybody thought he was just a tuck it and run, which he did a lot of that at Liberty. I didn't realize how much of a runner he was. But, dude, guy can throw a ball, man. And it seems almost effortless when he does have the timing down. That might be something worth thinking about.
Where does Cleveland pick? Let me look that up real quick. What pick? Because they're in the top 5, right?
Pretty sure.
Cleveland Browns draft.
They're probably not going to get either Shedeur or Cam Ward, so they would be, taking Milroe, Gabriel, or Dart.
Yeah, and here's the problem: making that pick that early too, man. There's a lot of cap attached, right?
Yep.
And they got the 2nd pick.
Ooh.
Right, Tennessee at 1.
Oh, that's right.
Cleveland 2, Giants 3. What if Cleveland took a quarterback? What if Cleveland took Shedeur Sanders?
That would screw everything up, I think. And then Tennessee would be.
That would be wild. Like if Cam Ward. Hell, no, it would be Cleveland's got the best. If Tennessee doesn't go quarterback here, right? If they go whatever any other position, Cleveland can pick between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, right? Now, when you look at Deshaun Watson's contract, right? Oh, his cap hit this year, $70 $72.9 million.
God, Lord.
Now check this out. It gets better. The dead cap.
It's better.
The dead cap attached. If you said that's too much, we're cutting him. The dead cap is $172 million.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we're gonna give him some.
Thank
So
you,
they
bro.
completely screwed this up, man. He's 30 years old. Okay. So next year, check this out. Next year, in 2026, his cap hit $72.9 million. All right. His dead cap, $99.8 million. I don't mean to laugh.
Dude,
That's the word.
that's terrible.
Can they even afford to bring Jameis Winston back at this
See,
point?
that's the thing. Like, someone like Malik Willis makes all the sense in the world. Is the point I'm trying to get to here? Was it your idea? Is that what you said, Emilio?
Yeah, I thought about it earlier tonight when I was like, dude, what would have happened after I was listening to y'all? I was trying to figure out, just like, they need a quarterback. We have a quarterback that performed really well, did super great as a backup, like prepared to get paid if he plays, another good year. And if you really want that, Myles Garrett, and he really wants to be out and the Browns are actually willing to do it. I was just wondering what y'all thought on that as a possibility.
Dude, that makes sense. But I mean, if I'm the Browns, I'm even going lower. I'm going cheaper. I'm going farther into Ross, and I'm going to wait outside the Vikings and see. Are you going to let Danny Dimes go? Are you going to let Sam Darnold walk? I think they had another one that had been, what was his name? He's not a very flashy guy, but he's played in games and played decently. Like you try to give Daniel Jones maybe a resurgence in Cleveland and say, hey, dude, we're giving you a 1-year chance. We'll pay $5 million or something. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
Here's what's crazy. I'm going to pull it up here for you guys just to make fun of the Browns for a second. Because the second overall pick, the cap hit is going to be $7.1 million.
Which is already allocated, because they were talking about that too. He's like, back when Eli got drafted and he said he's not playing for the Chargers, right? And then they got him to the Giants. He's like, well, when they like set everybody on the slot, that basically kind of got rid of that. So if you like draft somebody on the third pick and somebody in 16 or 20 wants them, they didn't have that amount allocated slotted for that draft pick, so it screws everything up. He said, so that's why all the 99% of the trades now have to be done right beforehand. You can't trade a player after the fact. The way they set it up.
Imagine that.
It's all right. Go ahead.
No, just real quick. The hip brings up a great point. They had Mayfield.
Right.
Like 3 years ago, they had Baker.
He was the best guy around.
I remember thinking Baker's a stud. I like Baker, right? And then all of a sudden, he had one down year. They let him go, and then he bounces around to two different teams. And I remember thinking, Clayton, you're a moron. I guess Baker isn't good. And then he lands back with Tampa Bay, and he takes off again. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Baker's good. I said this all along. Like, seriously, man, Cleveland should have stuck with him. They should have. And that was just a really weird situation, though, with, if you guys don't remember what specifically happened there, Odell Beckham Jr.'s dad was tweeting out videos of Baker Mayfield missing passes, like
That's
throwing
right.
inaccurate passes. And now neither of them are with the team, right? So anyway, here's their cap hit situation for 2025. $72.9 million for old Deshaun Watson.
You guys are out of control.
Cornerback Denzel Ward, 24.5. Myles Garrett, 19.7. So you're thinking, okay, if you go this route, Deshaun Watson is on your team. There ain't a damn thing you can do about it.
26.5% of your cap. 1/4 of your cap is number 4.
That's
It's-
insane.
It's
Don't
insane.
put that name in my mouth right there.
So you go, okay,
Don't put that name.
If you trade Myles Garrett here, we could free up some cap, right? Wrong. $19.7 million cap hit, 36.2 in dead cap. So if you move on from Myles, you're eating a bunch of dead cap. Like, you're going negative there too. So that's why the whole Myles Garrett thing, man, that's not just going to be, all right, yeah, he wants to be traded, trade him away. They're going to be looking up going, boy, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we mortgaged the future to keep you here by tacking on voidable years, and now you're wanting out. Like, he's got damn near a minimum base salary because everything has been prorated in an option bonus and everything like that. So the point here is, I don't know what Cleveland's going to do.
Right.
Their top 51 cap space is negative $27.5 million as it sits right now.
Jeez.
It's crazy. Go ahead, Jay.
That's great. People in the chat were wondering what is Deshaun's actual injury status right now. Well, he re-ruptured his Achilles on October 20th against the Cincinnati Bengals. He had his first surgery less than a week later. He suffered a setback then again in his recovery, injuring his Achilles again and requiring additional surgery that will now put his entire 2025 season at risk. This guy's done. He's got to be done. How many more chances does a guy get?
Right.
It's and that's just a move that that they made that put them in this bind, and now you got to dig it out. How can you dig yourself out of it when they were talking about you're paying Dak, CD Lamb, and somebody else? That's 3 hits at maybe 10-12% a piece. I mean, that's 3 people for the price of a Deshaun. I mean,
that's insane.
And they're saying that when you run 3 or 4 or 5 of those, you can't really run a team with 5 guys getting paid like that. I mean, I don't know how they're going to survive, but it's just good to see because they're also talking like you go to the Bengals and they're not as willing, I guess, to pay their players. I guess everybody around the league says that they're a lot. They're going to make you play your 4th year, maybe play that 5th year option, and then they'll pay you. But they're stingy with their money, and I mean you get lucky with whatever organization you kind of get set to.
Yeah. So here are the cap hits for the quarterback position for each team. The Cowboys, $89.8 million, right? The Cleveland Browns, $76.2 million. All right. Kansas City Chiefs, $66.2 million. The New Orleans Saints, $54.7 million. The LA Rams, $50.8 million. You got the Buffalo Bills, 48.7, Cincinnati Bengals, 47.2, Arizona, 46.7, Seattle, 46.6. Look where the Packers are, 17th at 32.1. So we got to stop complaining about Jordan Love, boys.
Yeah,
Jordan Love he's not crushing our cap situation. He just isn't. So I was trying to see if we could get the individual. Oh, here it is on the left over here, isn't it, Amelia? Right here is the actual individual. So where does Jordan Love hit on this? Jordan Love is 16th, the 16th highest cap hit amongst quarterbacks in the NFL.
Just a notch above A-Rod there.
Just a touch.
My knee.
It is interesting, though, to see some of these quarterbacks and like who's getting the best value. I mean, like this is what we mean by hitting on a rookie quarterback. Jaden Daniels, 8.5. Let's go.
Brock Purdy, yeah.
For 2 more years. Drake May, 8.3, right? Like you said, Brock Purdy. That one's coming due, though. That one's definitely coming due soon. Michael Penix Jr. showed a little bit of promise there at the end of the season when he finally got some playing time. Sam Darnold, I don't know what's going to happen with Sam Darnold, guys. Do you think the Minnesota Vikings bring him back?
I think they're stupid enough not to.
Injury situation looking, right?
Yeah, I think you might be right, Jake. I think they kind of have to bring him back. I mean, you win 14 wins. If you don't run it back and something happens, I mean, then the fans are going to be in uproar. But at the beginning of the season, they weren't even expected to do that. So how can you be mad, I guess, if they're still trying to stick to that plan? They didn't even expect to have 14 wins this year.
But I think, like to your point, though, Emilio, that was so unexpected, and they did so well that if they come around, let that guy go that brought him that 14-win season, and then they start over, and JJ absolutely craps the bed. Kwesi's gone, dude. He's gone.
Yeah.
Hey, that's going to do it for hour 1. For those of you listening on the pod, we'll see you on the other side for hour 2. We appreciate y'all. All right, Jacob's out. Jacob, get out. If you don't want to be here, leave. You hear me?
I love you guys.
All right, see you, man.
Bye, Jacob.
Take it easy on that pole tonight. You know what I mean?
He was the best guy around.
No, he wasn't, Tim. No, he wasn't. What a dirtbag. All right, so anything else you want to hit on here with the quarterback position, fellas? Anything at all catch your attention here?
Oh, sorry we went down that rabbit hole. I was just wondering what y'all thought on it.
Can you bring up our board again real quick? Because I when we were looking at our draft board, there was a couple names that, if we're talking quarterback, I think might actually be, real
later on.
Yeah.
Is his name Brady Cook, Tim?
That's one. That's the Army guy. Yeah. Or no, Mizzou. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, that cluster right there: Brady Cook, Tyler Show, Louisville, and then Seth Hennigan out of Memphis. Those 3, I think, if we're talking like a late round grab, maybe 5th round, 6th round, something like that, depending on follow.
Seth is consistent. I mean, he is he's been a top 100 basically his whole career. I mean, the dude is small school, but we'll see.
I'm gonna pull something up here if I could find it again. It took me forever to find it the other day. All-Star Week. All right. Hennigan, right? Played in the Senior Bowl. I'm gonna show y'all something if I can find it. Where are these teams at? They made it so damn difficult to find. The other day I finally found it, and I wanted to show you guys. I think it was Hennigan's score that was just through the roof, man. It was crazy. Let me double check here. He's
a 90 overall card on Ultimate Team. You can get a token for him, Clayton. Upgrade him to a 96, man. So I mean, what
the hell's wrong with him, Tim? What's wrong with this guy over here? I don't know why they make it so difficult to do this, but let me just go overall. If I sort by overall, that didn't do it either. Wonderful offense. Nope, that didn't do it. So anyway, they had it the other day where you could find the All-Star Game teams and specifically the Senior Bowl. And I'm telling you, my boy balled out, dude. It was, I want to say he led the team in PFF grade, if I remember right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hit the chat for a second. Let me see if I can find it because I want to show you guys that for sure.
Ron Sanville says Darnold would be nuts not to cash it now. He won't ever have a better chance. I think that is true. I mean, that is the truth. The dude went 14 wins. If you don't get paid right now, after he was known for seeing ghosts, I mean, that clip is still going to live in infamy. But you can make a comeback right now.
I agree. I think someone's going to pay for him. The question is it going to be the Vikings?
Yep, that's exactly it. We just got a super chat in here. Mike Witt, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Says, howdy, guys. I have a new draft crush. Mike Green reminds me of a Khalil Mack coming out of Buffalo.
Here's the guy.
Reppin'. Thank you, Mike. That's the alma mater right there. I'm still stand on the train for Khalil. I think that's our move. Aside that Myles Garrett talk, I really think it should just be Khalil. Get him in here, let him chase a ring. And if he does it with the Packers, man, I'd be ecstatic. So I'll take that.
Mike's right, though, about Mike Green, though.
That's small school guy coming out, make a name for yourself. And
92 PFF grade this year, man.
They were saying
Seth Hennigan, 77.1 was his PFF grade in the Senior Bowl.
Shoo.
Wow.
So, not bad.
In passing grade.
Passing grade was 88.3. So I'm just saying he's going to grab somebody. That might be the Brock Purdy of this draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where somebody takes him in that last round and takes a swing on him. So that was very anticlimactic for having to look through it that far. But I just want to point that out. That popped to me. I was like, holy cow, man. 88.3 passing grade in the Senior Bowl. Pretty impressive. So, and Tim, your boy, what was his name? Jaden Higgins. I want to say he had a great grade. It was in the 80s, I believe. So, anyway, there you go. Again, Mike Witt, thank you so much for the super chat, bud. We appreciate you, man. Mike Green he's a stud, dude. There's no two ways about it. Like if we were to sort again by overall grade, we called him out. Literally in the first 50 prospects I put on the board, I was like, who the hell is this Mike Green guy? Because he was just popping everywhere, right? And then he's going to be at the Senior Bowl. We'll get a good look at him right off the bat in practice, just dominating. So, yeah, he's in the 18 spot for us. 12th in PFF, second. And he didn't have a grade available to us there in 22, not sure why. 12th and 23, then jumped all the way to second this year, so he improved every year. PFF board had him at 47 early on, and the consensus big board had him at 33. He got the maximum Senior Bowl bonus there for the practice that week. Daniel Jeremiah, former NFL scout, had him at 23rd. Kyle Krabs over at the 33rd team had him at 32nd. So if he's there at 23, run the card up. I'd be totally fine with him.
Thick.
And, I could see that comp to Khalil because Khalil Mack, wasn't he a little bit shorter? Am I thinking right, guys? He wasn't like 6'5" or anything, right? I want to say he was like 6'2" or something like that.
Yep.
So, no. Cool. What do you guys think about doing a mock draft? You want to do that or no?
Shoot.
How y'all
I think you should sign me up.
Emilio, what we need to do, I was going to ask you to do this earlier or ask your opinion on it. And again, Mike, thank you so much for the super chat, bub. What if we took our current board, and we don't have to get too fancy with it, but remove everything off the board other than the players and the ranking to where, or no, just create a duplicate where we could pull the players as we do a mock draft. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just and you ain't got to spend a whole lot of time on it, and we don't have to worry about it tonight, obviously. But we need to do that in the future. I think it'd be fun to do a mock draft and actually have our board that we could be working. So, all right, let's do it. Let me set up the mock draft simulator here.
Get ready to go. Make a copy of it real quick.
Oh, you're cool, man. Like I said, don't worry about it right now. But all right, we're gonna go 7 rounds, correct, fellas? We'll go rapid fire here for the mock draft. Let me get it set up. I had it set up the other day where it was just absolutely perfect, man.
We got a super chat from Mike in here real quick.
Pull it up there and read it for me, Tim, if you don't care, man.
Since we're talking about the draft, who runs the fastest 40 between the three of you guys? LOL.
I know who will pull the first butt cheek. Yeah, right. We'll be the first one to pull a butt cheek, no doubt. I actually, back in my playing days, back when I was a young whippersnapper,
back in '82, I could throw a football over the mountains.
I was actually pretty quick. You wouldn't know that now looking at me, but I was one of those dudes I could play.
Clayton, did you have the fast feet? Were you one of those kids that just like your feet were just cruising? That's how you got around?
For me, it was probably quick feet. It was hustle, but the big thing was the mindset, understanding the game. I was such a nerd for baseball that I understood the little things, the little nuances you can do. Like when it came to stealing bases, that's what I was really good at, and I played middle infield. So when I would steal bases, it wasn't so much that I was just blazing fast, but I could get a huge lead and always get back on pickoffs. So they would get so damn frustrated. They'd finally be like, there ain't no sense of throwing over there. And learning how to watch the hip and having real good peripherals, watching the hip, watching the back heel on the rubber, and watching the shoulders all at the same time. And it was just second. There wasn't many things that came second, just like natural instinct to me. That was one. And it was so much fun. We'd actually run a still stop with me, which is a blast because I get such a big jump that if there was a runner on third and I was on first, that's when we would set up it. We literally call it still stop. So I would go to still second and I get such a big jump. I get halfway to second and I would just stop in between first and second. And they'd be like, what the hell is he doing? And then they'd throw the ball up to try to get me. And then the runner at third would start easing his way into home. And now they're looking at both runners. It was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. So still stop was something that those mountain boys caught on to, and everybody in the district was doing it constantly. It was a lot of fun. But, yeah, that was my big thing, was just understanding what the pitcher is and is not allowed to do in terms of the balk, and watching the back rubber, the hip, and the shoulder. So, but other than that, yeah, I'd hit a triple and I'd be out of breath for the next 3 innings. You know what I mean? Just out of shape. So
yeah,
unfed over here.
Well, we can solve this coming up in April, right? You know.
Oh yeah.
We're
all going to be in Green Bay. You know, they got the 40-yard with the clock and everything over at Titletown. So
what I was going to say, Tim, is if it's not too crowded over there, what if we told everybody, hey, look at Emilio stretching.
It's got to be pre-cannoli speed though, for sure. Because
we're talking post cannoli speed, not pre-cannoli speed.
No, I'm talking pre. I'm talking pre because I'm going to be hitting the bench press of cannolis, and I can't be having the 40-yard dash come after the bench press.
What I was thinking is let everyone who listens to the show meets up with us. Let's have a contest and let the listeners compete. That would be anybody who wanted to enter would be fun. I don't know if I'll run it. Like I said, man,
I'll be the guy just holding the stopwatch, verifying the time.
Tim's blazing fast. Oh my god,
Tim is the sleeper car that's got
like 1997 might have been blazing fast.
Tim will show up in the 1972 basketball shorts, the short shorts, and he'll have a headband. And he'll run a 4.45 on everybody's ass. That's exactly what happened.
31 miles an hour. That one's mine.
Hey, my pop was a sprinter back in the day. You know, it runs in the blood. So I got to say.
McFarley said he ran a 4.6 once. Could do a 6.4 now. So there you go. Couldn't do a 6.4 now. There you go. Oh my God. There you go. Clay going to be like Cat Williams out there. You can lead a hole to water, but you can't make it rain. All right, let's do it. Mock draft. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Emilio, you got access to the board, right? That you can help with that a little bit. If I just
I made a little copy one of just the final average and then the player.
Okay. So should we go? Well, we can't go slow here, right?
Yeah, no, it's fine. We don't have to do it today. I'm just going to try to pull ours.
Cool. All right. So here we go. Let's just do a quick recap of how this draft fell early on. Cam Ward, number 1 to Tennessee. Shedeur Sanders, number 2 to Cleveland.
Ooh.
We called it, boys. We called it.
Ish.
Abdul Carter to the Giants. That would be a great pick for them. Travis Hunter to the Patriots. Mason Graham to the Jaguars. Tetero McMillan to the Raiders. Can everybody see that okay? Is it zoomed in enough, or is it kind of that's about the best I can do, to be honest with you, right there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Will Johnson, cornerback to the Jets. Malachi Stark, safety to Georgia, or from Georgia to the Carolina Panthers. Luther Burden, the 3rd wide receiver to the Saints. Will Campbell, tackle out of LSU to Chicago. Mike Green goes to the San Francisco 49ers opposite Bosa. Of course he does, right?
Ugh.
Unbelievable. Egbuka goes, wide receiver, Ohio State goes to Dallas. James Pierce Jr. goes to Miami at number 13. Ashton Gianti ends up with the Colts. Tyler Warren, the top tight end in the draft, goes to Atlanta. Josh Simmons, tackle out of Ohio State, goes to the Cardinals. Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame, cornerback, goes to the Bengals. Mikael Williams, edge defender out of Georgia, goes to Seattle. Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle out of Texas, goes to Tampa Bay. Armand Mimbo, tackle out of Missouri, goes to Denver. Shamar Stewart, edge defender, been mocked to us before. He goes to Pittsburgh. That's such a Pittsburgh pick right there. And then Walter Nolan goes 1 pick before us to the Chargers. This feels very realistic here, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here's where we sit right now, gents, as we zoom in here a touch. The best players available are Jack Sawyer, edge defender out of Ohio State. Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman out of Michigan.
Done. Click the draft button on Kenneth Grant.
Yeah.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas. O'Marion Hampton, halfback out of North Carolina. Gray Zabel, tackle out of North Dakota State. Nick Scourton, edge defender out of Texas A&M, and Tyleek Williams out of Ohio State. So let's just pop the needs up real quick just to kind of see what the board would look like as we throw all these in. We're going to go wide receiver, offensive tackle, interior offensive line. We'll throw corner in there. We will throw D-line. I'm not going to throw edge. And here are the top prospects available. Kenneth Grant, defensive lineman out of Michigan. Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas. Gray Zabel, tackle out of North Dakota State. You know what? Let's put edge in there just so you see Jack Sawyer and make us think about it. All right. Emilio, where do we have Jack Sawyer on the board?
Jack Sawyer is I thought he was farther up. Hold on. Jack is 46th. Wow. Thought he was higher up.
He was, but I think it was DJ in the 33rd team that brung him down recently.
That'll do it.
So, yeah. Where's Kenneth Grant at? That's
Grant is top he is 10. Top 10. He's number 10. I'm sorry.
So Kenneth Grant is number 10 on our big board.
Mm-hmm.
This makes all the sense in the world, does it not, Tim?
Oh,
I'm if I got my Goody hat on and we're in this situation, I'm picking Kenneth Grant or I'm picking Gray Zabel with this pick.
Yeah.
Where's Gray Zabel significantly lower for us, right, Emilio? Didn't he drop down recently?
Our boy Gray Zabel is 60.
Yeah. Okay. And again, I think Gray Zabel's going in the first round, Tim. I'm with you, man.
He played himself into the first, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like pick your trench warfare weapon, right? We want to go D-line or we want to go O-line. To me, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those. It is tempting to look at Jack Sawyer, though, getting better at edge there. But I just worry if we don't go D-line or O-line here in the first, then what do we do?
Right. And when you talk about cornerback, right, because we got to be aware that cornerback, you're going to lose out on your shot on corner after the second round, in my opinion, to get one of those top-tier guys. Jahdae Brown is the top corner available here. Trey Amos is the second best one.
Do you want to try to take one with Barron? I mean, he's our 17th prospect, so he would be 7 below Kenneth Grant. But if we're going to pull the trigger on interiors, do we want to try one with a corner in the first round?
Oh, it's tough, man.
If it's Barron that we're talking about, is he worth I'm not saying is he worth the first round pick, but over Kenneth Grant or over,
Now,
some of the other
No,
options.
Kenneth Grant is our 100% best option. I was just wondering, did we want to try one pulling the trigger on a corner in the first round and
just
see
to
how
see what it
falls?
would be like. If we were to do that, Siobhan Ravel Jr. is the best on the board.
Yeah, I would grab him. There we go.
And what's
Sorry,
crazy
John
is here's
That's
what's
true.
crazy is the average draft position is 32. So you know what that says. See if we can trade back. If we're going to go this route and we're going to take a corner first, right? Let's do it. Let's take a corner first. Let's see what our trade opportunities are. Baltimore at 27. Okay.
I think
And
that'd be
again-
perfect. AFC team.
Yep. And again, Siobhan Ravel Jr. isn't going until 32. I feel pretty good that we would be able to get him, right?
Yeah.
You want to do it? Let's pull the trigger on it. Okay. So let's go. Let's give them the 23rd for the 27th. We want their 59th. They said you can get out of here with that crap. What if we go for their 59th? Okay. And we offer them the 87th. They would do that. Will we be okay with that? Trading our third to climb back up in the second time? Or do you guys want to hold on to that third and
take
just ask for
91.
their third?
Yeah,
Ask for their
I like that.
Okay. All right, cool. So here's what the trade would be. We're going to give up the 23rd pick for the 27th pick and the 91st pick. We all on board with that?
Yes.
All right, let's pray to sweet baby Jesus that Siobhan Ravel Jr. is still there. Here we go. Offer to trade.
Or,
They said-
or Barron. I mean, if either of them are there.
That's true. All right, so
Ooh,
Baltimore-
Ennis is still there. Now
Oh my God, is this real?
Now we screwed
Baltimore-
up.
yeah, now we're screwed. Baltimore took Jack Sawyer. Minnesota took Matthew Golden. The Texans took O'Marion Hampton out of North Carolina running back. Josh Connerly
Kenneth
Jr.
Grant, run the card, Clayton. Click it. Let's go.
We changed the entire idea. We were going to Tim
We're gonna
back
take
on
the
Grant. I love it.
So let's focus on defensive line.
Absolutely love it.
So you got Kenneth Grant is hands down our best pick. Right behind him is Siobhan Ravel because on our board he's Kenneth Grant is 10th and Siobhan Ravel is 11th.
So when do we pick next again with our? So we still have our normal pick, and then we pick in what, the fourth round?
We pick 27th. This pick here, 55th, 87th, 91st, then 123. What if? Let's look here a minute. What's the trade option here? We're picking at 27 right now, right? So the best trade option we have is 33. That's going to cost us both those players, right?
No, we
Yeah.
got to take one of those.
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh man, this is tough.
Emilio, what other corner do we have that's close? Will Johnson's gone, right? He's out of here. Will Johnson is gone. Let me double check. And if he is,
The only other corner would be Barron or Trey Amos.
yeah, and Trey Amos is significantly lower. So
Trey
to me,
Amos is our 28th, or I'm sorry, 29th. So
yeah.
he would be right on the edge there, but on their board, he's super low, isn't he?
And Siobhan Ravel has been going 32, and the only trade partner we would have is 33.
That means we take Kenneth Grant right now.
Yeah. We just completely.
Dude, if you're
we
telling me we
tried
can
so
trade
hard.
like that and still get him, that's huge. I think
Yeah.
we got to take him, right?
Emilio,
Emilio, you break the tie.
I just love that Tim was like, all right, back to Kenneth Grant, 110%. Like we were like, all right, we'll trade back and get a corner. Tim's like, Kenneth Grant, run it up.
Or
Like,
Gray Zabel. Take
I know,
O-line.
I
I don't
know.
care.
what we're saying though, Tim, is we were saying let's see what happens if we go corner
I
first.
just
Right.
love that. I love that Tim.
I know,
had
I do
that
too.
energy.
Because Kenneth Grant, you guys know who I'm taking here. I'm taking Kenneth.
Honestly, if we're gonna do a corner, then I would say trade back. There's 3 guys there. We're dropping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. I would take those chances, I guess, unless they go 3 corner straight pick. I would be fine with giving it a shot.
Let's do
Maybe.
it. I think the chat's on board too. Everybody's saying trade again. All right. So we're going after the 33rd pick, right? We give up the 27th. We also want their 67th. They said no, sir. Now, see, we're getting a lot of picks now. So I'm going to go for their 67th. And I say, what if we give up a couple of late round picks here? Let's do this. Let's start from the back, right? Let's just throw these on here. That moves the needle, right? And then we work backwards until I play Madden. What about this, boys? We give up the 27th pick, the 123rd pick, and the 199th pick for 33 and 67. Is that too rich for you guys? Probably is, isn't it? It's either that or just give up 27 for 33 and 94. Which would you prefer?
Kenneth Grant.
What'd you say? I'm sorry, 27.
Kenneth Grant, he said. I love it. So here it is, Emilio. We can give up 27 for 33 and 94, or we can give up 27, 123, and 199 for 33 and 67.
I'm good with that.
With me. He said, Grant, don't get cute.
Again, this is an exercise, though. Guys.
I'm good with that. I would be fine with trading those away, I guess, if we like the talent up front.
So we could see.
So we would have 33, 55, 67, 87, 91, and then we'd be 160 and 251.
Yeah, basically our picks would turn into 33, 67, 87, 91, and then we drop off the 160.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to give that a shot.
And again, everybody in the chat, I think we're all in agreement. We would take Kenneth Grant in this situation.
Yeah,
we 100% would. What we're doing is trying to see, okay, if we went corner first, how can we make the draft work for us if we were to go cornerback first? Okay, let's offer the trade here and see if we get this. They accepted it. All right. So now we watch and we wait to see if Siobhan Ravel gets drafted here. And he did. 31 to the Eagles, of course. So Gray Zabel went 28th. Kenneth Grant went 29th. Jahdae Brown went and Siobhan Ravel went. This is the worst thing.
That's perfect because Trey Amos met with the Packers and we have him on our board. We have him on our board at 30th.
Okay, let's do this. Let's reset the board.
I'm sorry, 29th. So
he's 29th and we're getting him at 33, right? And if we were to directly compare those to the other corners, Siobhan Ravel was the other guy we wanted. 17.7 grade for us. Jahdae Brown is a 20.9, so he's just one tier lower in 5-point increments. So not horrible there, right? Somebody just said Higgins. Blake B said, take Jaden Higgins. Look how disgusted Tim is over there, Emilio.
Tim is like, I don't even want to be a part of this.
Who do we pick so far?
We've traded a bunch of picks for a bunch of picks, Tim. Are you happy?
We're going to trade back again right now.
I guess I am happy because it's looking more and more like my boy Deion Walker's getting drafted in this.
All right. Trey Amos is right? Am I thinking right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to go corner. That was the rules we set, right? Okay, let's take Trey.
Yeah, and Cosell was talking that he's been watching the Ole Miss tape and he really likes Amos. So we'll see what he says about him.
Nice. Look at you doing more research than me this year. I love it. All right, let's throw the needs up other than corner right now, okay? And let's go offensive tackle. Let's go interior offensive line. Let's go.
And it's a fit. It's a fit for Amos because the Packers have met with him already. That's all. We're just trying to work the board like that. That's all.
All right. So here are the best players available according to PFF. Cornerback Darian Porter, wide receiver Jaden Higgins, tackle Donovan Jackson, defensive lineman Derek Harmon, tackle Cameron Williams, edge defender Jared Ivey. Emilio, where is Darian Porter on our board? He's pretty low. We ain't going to take a corner anyway right here. Jaden Higgins on our board is significantly lower, isn't he?
Yes, he dropped to 67.
67. So that would be a reach right here. But he's going average 55 according to PFF.
He was the best guy around.
We're going to let Tim make this pick here.
Yeah, Tim, you take it.
He took the corner. So you want Jaden Higgins here, Tim? Because he's going to be gone if we don't take him here.
Yeah, for sure he'll be gone.
He'll definitely be gone. And here's when I say
it's a fun draft, Tim. We're going outside the lines on this draft. You don't have to
We're going outside the lines. We're going outside the lines.
He said, "Let me see the quarterbacks."
Take Derek Harmon out of Oregon right now.
Right now?
Yep.
Right now.
Here's Derek Harmon on our board, Emilio.
Derek Harmon is. Let me see. Hold on.
Where is Derek? Oh yes,
he is 28th on our board.
Pull the trigger. Run the card.
Pick. I can't believe Tim just chose Derek Harmon.
That was crazy. I did not see that coming, Tim.
Love it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Derek Harmon. Boom. All right, now we're picking at 67. Okay. Well, let's reset the board. So we took our defensive lineman. We're not going to take another defensive lineman, right? Defensive tackle. So let's throw wide receiver. Oh, Jalen was the top one. Did you see
There
that?
we go.
Everybody's seen that, didn't they? All right, let's throw corner back on there because we're going to need more corners probably. Should we throw defensive line again? I don't think so. We only really
What about
got
edge?
We only got room for one. Let's throw edge up there, and let's go linebacker. So Jared Ivey out of Ole Miss. Where do we have Jared Ivey at, Emilio? I want to say he was lower on our board, but I could
He
be.
is 47th.
That's great value there. Wyatt Malum. Where's Wyatt Malum at? I want to say he had a good grade too. Am I wrong there?
Yes.
Wyatt Malum.
I'm bad.
50. He's 59.
59. Yep.
Okay, so right now Jared Ivey's the better player, right?
Honestly, I think it might be Royals would be the move. Royals is though.
I was thinking he was lower. I could be wrong.
He is 89th on our board. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a bit of a reach there. So for me right here, if we were going to take an edge, it'd be Ivy. I don't think edge is a huge need for us. I think it's the interior defensive line, but you guys know I'm in the minority with that. Hands down.
I'm with Emilio on this pick.
Who's that? Royals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Utah State, baby.
But if we're working our board, it would be Wyatt. I believe
out of West
it would be Wyatt Malone. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And Royals is averaging 70th, so he's going to be gone. He's definitely going to be gone. We pick again. So you guys want Royals? Is that what we're thinking?
I would.
Okay.
I've heard a couple. Even the guys on that Cowboys pod, Brian Browder said he likes him a lot. Said he likes the way he moves and stuff. He goes, "Now Tez is fast. That's no problem, but he's like, I just like the way Royals carries himself."
Okay, so we'll go Jalen Royals here.
Here's the guy.
All right, Jalen Royals, wide receiver out of Utah State, is the pick. All right, so now we don't need a wide receiver, right? We're good. Wide receiver room is jam-packed full. I think we would all agree.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go O-tackle, interior offensive line. Let's throw cornerback up there again. Let's go D-line again. We'll throw edge, and we'll go linebacker. Look who's best available according to PFF. Tim, fire up. We got Deion Walker out of Kentucky is the best available. Where is he on our board, though, Emilio?
Let's see. Deion Walker is.
Can we justify this pick right here? In the meantime, Crossfire becoming a member here on YouTube. Appreciate you, Crossfire. Thank you for supporting.
Appreciate you, Crossfire. 137, we have Deion Walker.
All right, 137 is Deion Walker. So that would be quite the reach, right? Right here. Now, he's going to be gone. There's no doubt about it. He's about to get picked.
But it's our boy Tate, though. Our boy Tate hooked us up last time because he was a steal.
Where is Tate at?
He was 57th on our board.
So Tate Ratledge at 57, and we're getting him at 87. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's too damn good to pass up
I
on.
like that.
And who have we picked so far? We went corner, D-line, wide receiver. We need to know lineman, don't we, boys?
Let's do it.
We do.
All right, let's go Tate Ratledge out of Georgia. Guard, who some believe can play tackle.
Here's the guard.
Now we're picking again at 91. Look who's still there, Tim. Ooh, Deion Walker's still on the board. Holy cow. All right.
I don't know if I should be happy about that, though. He keeps falling.
That's a good thing, man. Let's go corner, offensive line. We'll go D-line. We'll go edge, and we'll go linebacker. All right, so we're picking 91st, guys. We only got two picks after this, and that's 160 and 250.
That's crazy.
So, Deion Walker. Let's hit this super chat while we think about Deion Walker for a minute. Mike Witt with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, hot take. This is the draft. Goot trades up in the draft. Just a gut feeling, and I know it's not really a need, but offensive tackle for many would be a good pick. All right, cool. Hey, maybe we'll do that next. We'll try to trade up. We'll pick a pick to trade up. Say, hey, let's trade up to 15th on one of the shows coming up. You know what I mean? Something like that. Try to trade.
I like
up.
it.
Is he must be talking about Ursary?
Yeah, Ursary. Yeah,
Ursary. Yeah.
Stud, right? No, we've got him really high, right, Emilio?
He's 49th on ours, but he he really did show out at the Senior Bowl. He was playing really well at the Senior Bowl practices and stuff.
Got it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got the bonus for us, if I remember right. So, all right, boys. Defensive. Think of our defensive line room here. that, you know, and I think everybody wants Deion Walker here, right? I feel like that's pretty unanimous.
Yeah.
Our defensive line room right now is Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, Derek Harmon, and now you would add Deion Walker in there as well. You've also got Carl Brooks, you got Kobe Wooden, right? So that's what, 7 or 6? You're probably only going to carry 5 on the roster, so Kobe Wooden would probably be the odd man out there, unless you do a post-June 1st Kenny Clark cut and just move on, right? You could go that route and just kind of break even. And I say break even like you wouldn't be absorbing a cap penalty. This year, you just have to carry his cap hit. But what are we thinking here, boys? There's Kobe Bryant, cornerback. There's Jared Wilson, center. I want to say he climbed up our board a touch, but I did light him up in the blue, Emilio, because you know, he obviously is a true center, one of the only true centers in the draft. Maybe he's lower than I thought.
He's 97th.
97th. Okay, so be around that range.
We can't take back-to-back interior O linemen from Georgia, though, can we?
That is very odd. That feels wrong, doesn't it?
Can we just look at corners for a second?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, let me do this. Sorry. Let's clear it and go cornerback here. Mello Dotson.
And Kobe.
So let's do this. Let me sort my board. Hopefully this doesn't mess you up, Emilio. I apologize if it does. If we sort our board by corner, Mello Dotson is the 15th best corner on our board. All right. And then Kobe Bryant is significantly lower, 5 or 6 spots lower.
Like 20th or 21st best.
Yeah. Noel Williams is lower than that. Jacob Parrish. Where's Jacob Parrish on our board here real quick? Where are you at, sir? He must be significantly lower. Yeah, I think he is. He's way down there. So, yeah, in this situation, where's Zy Alexander? Alexander is a little bit lower as well, I believe.
Okay, then
Alexander is our best corner right now. According to our board, Tim, Zy Alexander, see, he's got a 78.8. Let me sort this again. If we go 78.8, Zy Alexander right now is our 93rd best prospect, and we'd be getting him at 91. That'd be good value.
Yeah, I was thinking of him, or otherwise maybe some of those safeties that we were talking about playing in the slot, you know, safety that we put into a slot. But I don't know. It's tough. We got 3 picks left, right? So we got, I don't know. I'd almost rather double dip at corner than double dip on D line. It's crazy.
Okay.
That's
what about this, Clay? Andrew Makuba, I'm sorry. He is 48th on our board.
Oh, and look at that. In 2023, he played 315 slot snaps. This last year, he played 129 in the box, 71 in the slot, 508 deep. So he can play slot. And he's 40-something, you said?
Yeah, he's 49th on our big board.
Woo! That makes the most sense according to our big board. He's our best.
I like that pick. It's basically a corner. I mean, you know, we're filling a secondary need. I'm not mad at it.
And again, our first corner that we took, let's look at him real quick. Trey Amos is not a slot corner. He's an outside guy. So let's assume that Jair is gone, right? Okay, he jumps in his place. Trey Amos takes his place on the outside, right? If Ja's back, then it'll be Trey Amos and Jair, and you'll have Keyshawn Nixon and Mbuka battling with Javon Bullard for slot. So you really do sure up the slot position if you go that route. This would not be a popular pick. I'm just telling you right now. And I'm not going to be the one to tweet out this mock draft. It's not.
You definitely should tweet it out. But yeah, let's take him.
All right, we're going Mbuka. Tim, you okay with it, man? I can't believe we're passing up on Deion Walker, man. Again, where's Deion Walker one more time, Emilio?
He is one. Hold on.
Yeah, Mbuka's hands down the pick here.
He is 137 for us.
And what's our next pick after this? One what?
160 and then 251.
See, do you think? Because my thought was we could hit a D line on the next one, but it's not going to be.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. 160 is not a terrible spot to maybe poke around.
Yeah.
Maybe get CJ West out of Indiana or something like that. I mean, if he's still on the board.
I would say go Deion Walker now. Otherwise, go with
Mbuka.
Makuba.
We keep saying Mbuka, and it's Makuba.
Yeah.
All right. What's it going to be, Emilio? Makuba.
I would say Makuba, yeah. I just want to go full tilt different on this draft and see.
Yeah, and we're sticking to the board while still being different.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah, he's 49th on our board. We've basically taken we've taken everybody under 100 picks, or under 100, I believe.
Now, looky here, boys. We were talking about what happens if we get later in the draft and there's a quarterback there. Quinn Ewers is on the board. That is wild. Look at these PFF grades. 2023, 86.8. I'm not saying we should take a quarterback. I'm just saying here's exactly what we opened the show with, talking about would you take a quarterback late? Look at the quarterbacks available. That's wild that he fell that far. There's Seth Hennigan way down there. He'd probably be an undrafted free agent. So, all right, so let's look at what we've drafted so far. We have taken corner, outside corner, interior defensive line, wide receiver, and guard, and then a safety / slot hybrid there. So, as far as needs, we're going to list corner again. Well, no, we don't need a corner now. We've already taken 2. Let's hold up on that. We've taken our interior defensive lineman. We don't need another one, right?
Linebacker, maybe?
Yeah, we definitely got to look at backers. We'll take a look at edge, and that's pretty much it, right? You guys agree?
Interior D-line still?
Take another look. I just don't know if we got room for him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being realistic here. Think of our interior defensive line. Could you see Goody cutting Kobe Wooden? You know what I mean? I just can't see it.
Yeah.
You know, if Kenny's gone, yeah, right. But I don't know. Anyways, all right. Cody Simon out of Ohio State is the top one there. Looks pretty solid. Where's Cody Simon on our board?
I want to say he's top 100 too. Let me see. Or no, I'm sorry. He is he's top 150. He's 149.
All right, so he's 149. What about Cody Lindenberg?
Cody Lindenberg is 301.
Okay. Stutzman
is 101.
Okay, so Stutzman would be the pick there at 101. Oh, what about Jay Higgins? Where's he at?
There's a guy.
Oh, he is 98th.
He is 98th. He
So
is ahead of. If we take Jay Higgins, we would be every pick, I believe, is under or top 100 on our board. Trey Amos, Derek Harmon, Royals, Tate, and Makuba all would be top 100 if you take Jay Higgins as well.
Which is, I'm gonna try to pull a fast one. Jay Higgins is going 176. We can get back to 163, right? That's just 3 picks. What would they give us? If we gave them 160, would they give us 225? They almost did. They give us 249. They would. You want to do that? Trade back a few picks, pick up an extra pick here?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. They'll accept that. And Jay Higgins should still be there. If he's not, I'm going to be sick at my stomach. Jay Higgins is still there, right? And we're still sitting at 163 right now.
Mm-hmm.
190 is too far out. I think we take Higgins here. What do you think?
I think so too.
All right, we're going Jay Higgins, linebacker out of Iowa. We got to go rapid fire.
We can't be mad that our top 6 rounds we took a top 100 pick on our board, right?
No. And Goody always talks about, like, in the first 3 rounds, you can get all 3 of them are top 50 picks.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can get into the 6th round and you're getting top 100 picks, you're doing good.
There's a quarterback on the board right here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it is your boy, isn't it? Look at that. 2024 grade is wild, man. That is wild. 87.4. And that was at Louisville too, right? Like he played all 3 years at Louisville, if I remember right.
Yep.
So that's wild. He's just 25 years old though. That's kind of that.
25?
That's what it said.
Oh,
yeah.
Never mind. Goody's not picking him.
All right. So we went cornerback. We went outside corner, interior defensive line, wide receiver, interior offensive line, slot corner / safety hybrid, and we went linebacker. Let's look at offensive tackle, right? Let's go interior offensive line too. Oh my God! Look!
Oh my gosh!
There he is.
Pull the trigger, Clayton.
Where's he at on our board now? Because I feel like he shuffled around quite a bit. I get some of these guys mixed up though. We're talking about Marcus.
I'm sorry, 187.
So we're getting 180. We're getting 187 talent at pick 249. That makes a lot of sense, don't it, boys?
I like that.
All right, that's pretty simple.
Trey Wing is 211.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's Drew Kendall?
Yeah, where's Drew Kendall at? He's a little lower, isn't he?
He is 170. 171.
Okay. Just taking a look here. Make sure we're not overlooking anything here. I think this is the pick. Hands
The
down.
only other one, wait, scroll back down, the OSU guy. Right up. Yeah, right there.
Oh,
Gerard Christian Lynch. And
God, look at that PFF grade.
What's-
83.9.
how do I spell his name?
Where's he at? Do we have him on the board?
Erod. Yeah, he is. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. He's 241. I'm sorry. I thought it was a different guy. Then,
Gotcha.
yeah, it would be, it'd have to be Marcus or the center.
All right. Tim, we good with Marcus Weir?
Oh, you know it.
All right, we're doing it. Marcus Weir. Again, he's been going at 240, and we got him at 249. We got lucky there.
Oh, look at this. Now you take Tyler Shaw.
That
Let's
final
go.
pick. Let's see here. What would be a position of need in your all's opinion? We got two
Long
corners.
snapper.
We got two. We got two offensive linemen.
Do they have the position?
Oh,
I mean, seriously, we got everything we needed, right? For the most part. Can you think of a position that oh man, we neglected that? I can't think of one.
neither can I. Unless we
No,
want to.
I mean, and maybe check tight ends if we wanted a first look
Yep.
on the next blocking tight end or something.
Oh, and we do need a second linebacker as well.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. So Aaron Smith, Teddy Buchanan. Teddy Buchanan had pretty good grades, didn't he? Yeah, look at this. Where's Teddy Buchanan on our board? He's got to be up there, right? I mean, look at his PFF grades.
Yeah, let's see. He is 200.
He's 200. We'd be getting him at 251. So Teddy Buchanan's in the conversation here, right? Shamar Jones, Nicholas Martin, Aaron Smith. No. Let's see here. Who we got here? Hey, I just actually worked him up today, Deep Ray. Someone had mentioned him. I can't remember if it was you or Jacob last night, Tim.
That was me.
up.
He was the one who caught my eye in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. He's pretty low on our board, but I finally did get him a grade, so he is on the board now.
Mhm.
So yeah, right
301.
here. Am I wrong? Does it kind of feel like Teddy Buchanan here, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless we want first dibs on long snappers, they don't have that position, right, Clay?
They don't
Special
have-
teams. We got any long snappers in there?
Can't
No.
believe we're thinking about drafting a long snap. This is awesome. Unbelievable.
You'll get no argument out of me if we take another linebacker here. You know, I love my defense.
Yeah,
Teddy
I like
Buchanan.
Teddy.
Yeah, 6'2", 235. Another 5 pounds. He's quintessential, right? Inside
Mhm.
linebacker. All right, cool. Let's do it. So we're getting the 200th pick at 251. That's good value there. We got both our linebackers, so you're just assuming Eric Wilson and Isaiah McDuffie are walking in free agency, right? So you
Yep.
replace those guys. Bang, there it is. Let's see what PFF said. They're going to hate us. They said a B, not bad. All right.
Wow, we got an F.
on
on
Jay.
Higgins.
I don't
Player.
understand it. Why does that happen every time with Jay Higgins?
Reach too far.
That's
they don't
awesome.
like it.
Is that what it is?
That just means he's going to be a stud and make everybody look stupid.
There you go.
That's
So
us when we
again,
drafted him.
we traded back twice. I got to be honest. We did this as an exercise, right?
You loved it.
We have to force ourselves to take a corner first. Me no likey this.
Yeah.
I would have felt a lot better with who was the defensive lineman, Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant.
I mean,
Yep.
he was our 10th best prospect. We would have got top 10 talent.
I tried to reason with you guys.
You
I
did.
tried to tell you.
Tim even said, I'll trade back for you guys if.
Let me grab a screen grab real quick, and we'll throw it up in our media group just to make fun of each other here tomorrow when me and Tim get on here and do a morning show. We'll blame Emilio for this. I will pretend like I was not on board with this at all, and this was all Emilio tomorrow.
Mhm. That's fun.
Uh,
I'll take
so
the beat.
Again, here's the recap. We traded out of the 23rd pick. We picked up the 27th and 91st. I would love that trade, by the way.
Yeah.
I would be all about that trade. I just would have taken Kenneth Grant at 27 if he was still there.
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
And then we traded out. We traded out of 27, and we gave up 123 and 199. We got the 33rd pick, so we only traded back 5 spots, right? And we picked up an extra third rounder. So that's a good little trade there. We ended up taking Trey Amos, cornerback out of Ole Miss, which, by the way, he's been mocked to the Packers at 23. The fact that we traded out, picked up multiple picks, and got Trey Amos, it sounds silly, but trading back and getting him in the 33 spot as opposed to 23, big difference in pay scale there. Big difference.
Big difference in pay scale. Also, don't have to worry about a fifth-year option for him. We get, we're already slotted in. Do we like what he did in 4 years? All right, let's go.
Good point. Derek Harmon with the 55th pick. You notice Derek Harmon was falling to the third round a lot before. Now you got to get him in the second or he's gone. The 67th pick in the third round, we got Jalen Royals, wide receiver out of Utah State.
Here's a guy.
Also in the third round, pick 67 or pick 87, we took guard out of Georgia, Tate Ratledge. Also in the third round, pick 91, we got Andrew Makuba, safety / slot corner out of Texas. With the fifth round, pick 163, we took Jay Higgins, linebacker out of Iowa. And then we traded back and picked up we traded pick 160 for 163 and 249. And then with 249, we took Marcus Weir, guard out of Montana State. And then in round 7, pick 251, we took Teddy Buchanan, linebacker out of Cal. So I don't think it's a horrible draft. I don't. But it just feels like the second round's that sweet spot for corner for me.
Mm-hmm.
Go interior defensive line or offensive lineman, go trenches with the 23rd pick, and then come back in the second round, get your corner.
Right.
You would have been able to get.
I almost want to run it back with the same parameters and instead of taking corner right away, make that pick that we were thinking about making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
that's the way we need to do the
plays
mock
out.
drafts moving forward is set a specific rule. Like tonight was you had to take a corner with the first pick. Maybe we'll have it. You have to take a corner in the second round, no matter what. Force
Right.
yourself to do that. That might be the next one to do. So
Definitely.
cool. All right. This was fun, man. I'm glad we did it. So, everybody in the chat, thank y'all for hanging out with us, man. This was a blast. We will be back tomorrow morning for Good Morning Lambo at 8:30 Central Time, okay, in the morning. There will be no show tomorrow night unless the guys want to do one. Unfortunately, I got a funeral to attend, so we're going to go take care of that tomorrow night, and then we'll be back the following morning for Good Morning Lambo. And I think actually tomorrow's visitation, then the funeral will be the following day, and it's in Kentucky, so we're doing a lot of traveling. So it'll probably be the same schedule the next couple of days. We'll be doing a morning show, and then we'll get back to the morning and the evening show. So I apologize for that, but we'll get back on a normal schedule here soon. Fellas, appreciate your time. This was fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Clay. Yeah, this
All
was
right.
awesome.
Happy to be back. I'm found. Don't worry.
Yeah. Special shout out to Kingtron for the super chats. Thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate you. Mike Witt with the super chats. You are the man. Thank you so much. You're always too kind to us. Crossfire becoming a new member. Welcome to the PTA Posse. And says he's been a member for a month here as well. So evidently he just re-upped his membership there.
Appreciate
So yeah,
Nice.
Thank you so much, Crossfire. Appreciate you. Everybody in the Patreon group, we adore you. We appreciate y'all more than you know. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning for Good Morning Lambo. Everybody have a great
And we gone.
Bye, guys.